Good morning, everyone. This is Ben Dunn, founder of Antarctic Press, a small publishing company that makes comics, established in 1985. Creator of such comics as Warrior Nun, Ninja High School, Mighty Tiny, Marvel Mangaverse, etc., 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 etc. So, let me ask you something. Let's say you went to a restaurant and you didn't like the meal. And then what if the wait staff and the chef came out and started blaming you for the bad meal? Say what a horrible person you are, that this meal is bad. You know, it's all your fault that you were served a bad meal. How would you think about that? You know, let me give you another example. Let's say someone came over to fix your plumbing, and the plumber said, well, this leak is your fault. The reason that you have a leak is because you're a bad person. You know, you don't subscribe to what I believe in. You know, so this leak is all your fault. Well, you'd probably not be too pleased with that attitude, would you? You know, you'd be probably saying, what the heck? Why are you treating me this way? You know, I just wanted a good meal. I just want you to fix my plumbing. What gives you the right to tell me, you know, that my behavior is a result of what I got? Well, then why in the world would we tolerate that in our entertainment? You know, it always befuddles me that creators somehow feel that they can berate, insult, you know, and disparage the very people that they're trying to entertain. What's the reasoning behind that? It makes no sense to me. You know, if your customers, which they are, they're your customers, you know, do not enjoy what you're dishing out, why in the world would they tolerate your insults or blame for the result of your failure? You know, it's something that we shouldn't tolerate. You know, I create comics. You know, I enjoy creating comics because comics are, to me, not only very therapeutic. You know, it's an outlet for my for all the ideas that are stuck in my mind. You know, and I have to let them out, otherwise I'll probably go insane. I'm probably already a little crazy anyway. You know, just, you know, sitting here in front of this webcam on my computer, just spouting off stuff, you know, that randomly comes to my head every day, you know, thinking that somebody cares about what I have to say. And, you know, maybe some do, some don't, you know, and I appreciate the people who do take the time to listen. I really do. I want to thank you all. You know, I never really appreciate how much it means to me that you take the time to listen to what I have to say. You know, whether you agree with me or not. At least I respect you, you know, as a listener and hopefully a consumer of my products, which is what I do. I make product. You know, I'm not doing it for my health. I'm making content, you know, not only for myself, but I'm also trying to entertain people in the hopes that enough of you out there will enjoy what I do. You know, and if you don't enjoy what I do, you feel free to give your opinion on it. You know, I value people's opinion of my work. You know, it allows me to see where I'm going wrong, you know, what I'm doing wrong, you know, why this particular work didn't resonate with people. You know, I think finally consumers have had enough of the shenanigans that are going on in the entertainment industry. And I think they're finally waking up to the fact that a lot of it is garbage. You know, I mean, there's an old saying that 99% of the stuff that's coming out of the entertainment industry is garbage. And now, that may be hyperbolic. I wouldn't say 99%, maybe 99.9%. No, just kidding. No, I mean, it's there's a lot of stuff coming out, and a lot of stuff fail because of one thing or another. But no one who creates something wants to admit failure, So it's one of those things that they feel somehow, somehow they feel morally superior in their attitude toward the consumer. That you don't know what's good for you. You don't know what is best for you. We know better. Maybe they're trying to be subtle about it, trying to not aim at the fans of the product that they're making, but trying to make a sea change in the attitudes of people who are impressionable, who are young, who have skulls full of mush, as they say. Yeah, and maybe that's what they're trying to do. I mean, you think about it. Why are they creating all this stuff that no one really cares about or it doesn't resonate with people? If I was a conspiracy theorist, which I am not, if you know what I mean, I would think that this is some sort of a plot to win the hearts and minds of the young people that are still very impressionable, to change their attitude toward things. It seems like a lot of entertainment, especially aimed at the young, seems to be agenda-driven, not entertainment-driven. I don't have proof of this, other than what I see before me. I can see for myself that things are not as they seem. Thank goodness my kids are already grown up. Otherwise, I'd have to deal with a lot of stuff going on in the entertainment industry. It's true. There used to be brands that you could trust. Brands that you could rely on and not have to worry about. But now that those days are no longer there. Somehow, the entertainment industry, comics, movies, television, seems to be populated by those who feel like they somehow need to espouse their beliefs over their job of entertaining you. Which is not what they are. It's their job to entertain. Just like a chef's job is to provide the best meal possible. It's to provide a plumber needs to fix your sink, and it's just like a mechanic needs to fix your car. It's their job. It's their job. And if they fail in their job, why in the world would they blame you for their failure? It seems and I'm glad to see that consumers are finally starting to rise up and showing their distaste for that attitude by voting with their wallets. Saying that we will not tolerate this kind of behavior from you anymore. Either you provide us with good entertainment or we'll go someplace else. Just like people shifting from American superhero comics to manga. But the thing is that the people who buy superhero comics are not the ones who buy manga. It's the young people that are buying young manga. Let's face it. People who buy American superhero comics are not buying manga. Now, I buy manga, and I read American superheroes, so I like both. I am very open-minded about different types of comics. I read romance comics. I read, funny animal comics. I just love comics in general. Any comic you put in front of me, I'll read it. I don't care what it is. Like independent comics, like underground comics. Why? Because I just love comics. Comics is a great art form, great American art form. Where have we gone? Where do we lose our way? It seems inconceivable as little as 10 years ago that the American comic industry be where it's at. You know, it was a slow process, a slow rot, you know, that came from within, that's eating, you know, at the very fingertips of our industry. It's like frostbite. You know, it comes in slowly, works its way up, you know, and then before you knew it, you've lost a finger, you know, and then it keeps going and you lose another finger until you no longer have fingers anymore. And, you know, and the thing about it, and this is something that always I thought was kind of a great scene when there was a peanut strip where Linus was complaining to Lucy about something. And then she said, you know what? You see this hand? Individually, fingers don't do much, you know. But when you curl them together, they make a weapon terrible to behold. You know, and that's where we needs to become a weapon. You know, the people who want to save the industry needs to be united, you know, so that we can become a weapon and fight against this internal rot that seems to be permeating our comic book industry. No, I'm not going to name names. You know, they know who they are. You know, I don't have to point fingers at anything or anybody. You know, I trust that the readers, the consumers, the supporters, you know, they know because they're smart. You know, a lot of people disparage the average consumer as being dull-witted, you know, not very smart, needs to be told. You know, I take the opposite tact. I think that the readers of our comics, you know, are savvy. They're smart. You know, they know what they want. They have what I consider, you know, gravitas. You know, they know when they're being taken for. You know, and now they're starting to not tolerate it anymore. They're starting to realize, you know what? I'm tired of being taken. You know, I'm tired of not getting what I'm paying for. And it's about time that they learn the folly of their actions and their behavior. You know, until they correct that action and behavior, I'm no longer going to support them. And Ben, isn't that detrimental to the comic industry? Well, maybe. Probably is. You know, but sometimes you have to rip the Band-Aid off. You know, sometimes you have to let the forest burn so that new growth can occur. And I like to think that indie comics is the new growth, that it will sprout into a mighty forest, you know, supported by indie creators, you know, who have a new vision of things that will give rise to an even stronger comic industry in the future. You know, I like to believe that, you know, and hopefully it will come to pass. I'm doing everything in my power to make it happen. You know, I support indie creators. But, believe it or not, I also support Marvel and DC. I love Marvel and DC. Marvel and DC are institutions of the comic industry that I think somehow have lost their way. You know, they're producers of American superhero comics. But there was a time they were creating all sorts of genres. Westerns, romance, you know, funny animals, all sorts of stuff. You know, but now they concentrated on one audience, superheroes. You know, and if you don't like superheroes, what other, you know, choices do you have? Well, that's where independent comics come in. Independent comics have filled that void that Marvel and DC no longer care about. Independent comics create the westerns. They create the romance. They create the funny animals. They create manga. Yes. Americans create manga too. A lot of people are creating manga now. We now we compete with manga. Now, I don't know how successful we are, but there are people, I create manga. And in fact, back in the 80s when manga wasn't even a thing, I was promoting manga as best I could. It was a difficult role, but I didn't give up. I refused to let obstacles stand in my way in the promotion of manga as an art form. And I'd like to think that I was a small part of manga's acceptance and success here in the American comic industry. Some people may berate me for that, but, it is what it is. That's what I wanted to do. So what sea change as you as a creator, can do. You can make a difference. Your little creation could be the one comic that saves the American comic industry. You never know. But you won't know unless you do it. As simple as that. So I'm just saying, finally, I think we're going to hopefully see a shift back to core entertainment. Now, I could be naive in my thinking, and they don't care. They're too entrenched. They're like a tick attached to a dog, like a lamprey attached to a fish. Maybe they're sucking on the American entertainment industry, and it would be difficult for us to dislodge because they're so attached. The only way that they can be driven off is that the higher powers in charge realize what's going on and have to make a choice of, do I want to promote this agenda and lose money, or do I want to go back to being an entertainment company and start making money? That's really what it comes down to, is money. If the money is not there, they can't produce anything. Simple as that. As long as there's a money source, they will continue to produce the material that they produce. Dry up that money source, and they'll stop producing it. So that's a simple formula. We at Antarctic Press, we realize that we're a for-profit company. We have to make money in order for us to survive. As little profit as we make, we appreciate every penny above the cost of producing our comics, to allow us to survive another day. And this is why we appreciate all of you out there and want to thank you for your continued support. Because it is important to us. And to our retailers out there who carry our books, I want to thank you too as well. You're very important to us. All the people who work on our books, all the people who are part of the industry, who help keep AP afloat, I have a heartfelt thanks for all of you. You are appreciated. And we want to work together to make this industry succeed. Because what good is it for us to be at each other's throats all the time, insulting each other? And it doesn't lend to any type of productivity. If a lot of these creators spent as much time just creating as opposed to attacking, and spending time, destroying the reputations of their fellow creators, how much more could they actually accomplish? But anyway, I think that's enough rambling for today. I'm sort of obligated to promote my Crimson Nun Kickstarter. And it's a nice pulpy adventure based on the character of Crimson Nun from the Warrior Nun universe that I created. Written by Ron Fortier and drawn by Jesse Thomas. It's now on Kickstarter. The link will be below. I hope you'll be a backer. I think you'll really enjoy it if you like good old-fashioned pulp adventures. And, keep on creating, everyone. Until next time, this is Ben Dunn signing off.